You're back with us here on the Mountain Morning Show, and we continue our conversations about great films at Slam Dance. My next one looks to be just tremendous. It is After Adderall, and I'm very happy to have Mike here from the film, Stephen Elliott from the film, rather. And Stephen, tell me, this film is really all about you. It is about your experience with arguably one of the biggest characters of Sundance over the last few years, who has played you, James Franco.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, it's kind of a weird story. It's not really all about me because my roommate plays a huge part in the movie. Yeah. It's James Franco made a movie out of my memoir, The Adderall Diaries.
Right.
And he played me in that movie, and that inspired me to make a movie about James Franco making a movie about me. And that's what After Adderall is. But it's a surreal reimagining, because it's not a documentary. It's like I try to recreate this kind of surreal process. But like in the movie, my roommate doesn't want to be part of my movie. She wants to be part of the drama of the movie is that she thinks that she is the star of the movie. We're kind of arguing about who the movie is about throughout the entire feature. So it's pretty weird.
So we've definitely struck in a theme here by saying it's about you.
Yeah, it's very meta and very weird. But it's based on this very real thing. Like there's a scene in the movie where I show up to meet James Franco after he's optioned my book. And he's not there. Instead, there are these two college students, and he calls in on a phone with like 10 or 12 producers and agents, people, and that really happened. And all the dialogue in the movie is very similar to what happened. But in the movie, one of the college students takes a picture of him out of her bag and puts it next to the phone.
Right. And
then the phone starts talking.
You get you have the visual experience, I suppose, in a sense. They make video phone now, right?
Yeah,
you just do that. Talk to me about, I'm gonna show the trailer here in a moment. When you look at your life this way, when you go back and reimagine it, isn't that what we do every day? Is that kind of sort of another part of this, is that the way things appear in our memory is the truth?
Right, and that's one of the themes of the book as well, of course. The book is all about the difference between memory and fact and interpretation.
The relationship with your father being a huge part of that.
Yeah, totally central. But also, I've written 7 books, and I have an 8th one coming out this year, and 4 of them are novels, but they're all very autobiographical. A big difference in the movie After Adderall is very funny, and a lot of the books, with only like 1 or 2 exceptions, are very dark.
Serious, yeah.
So I mean, The Adderall Diaries is, it's funny in parts, but it's a memoir, but it's pretty dark most of the way. Whereas the situation of having a movie made out of your life, of having James Franco play you in a movie, is so surreal that it really lends itself to comedy. In a new way, and that's been really fun. There's actually a line in the movie where James Franco's agents is like, "Oh, you're much funnier than you are in your books. I had no idea you were so funny." And that's like this great play on what's happening.
Well, we've got a trailer for the film. It's After Adderall. Let's take a look. It's After Adderall, and I'm continuing a conversation with Stephen about the film. This may be one of only a very small number of chances to see this movie. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we made the movie for like $10,000. It's a really, really, truly independent, low-budget movie. We stole a lot of the shots. There's no contracts with anybody in the movie. There's no contracts with any of the actors or the locations or anything. There's just it's an environmentally friendly movie. There's no paper at all, and you can't sell distribution to anybody without contracts. So nobody's going to distribute the movie. Everybody worked on it for very cheap or for free, and that was because it was just this great, super fun art project. And this is my 3rd movie, and I never had a better time making a movie. It's like when you make a movie with no thoughts of like distribution or making money. Yeah, you can just be an artist. You can just be really weird. You can be crazy. You can make the movie that you want to see. It doesn't matter what people think anymore.
Wow. With that being said, what is the favorite memory? What is the best part that came from this for you?
Oh God, the set, making this movie was so fun on so many levels. You know, there's a lot of scenes where I'm in a cage, you know, talking to my roommate, you know, and it's not really acknowledged that I'm in this cage.
It's an elephant in the room.
Yeah, and you know, toward the end of the movie, I'm like, you know, I always thought, you know, the cage was some part of some cuckold fantasy, but now I know the cage is real. It's all the times I wasn't in a cage that were a fantasy. But in order to get this cage, I had a friend who's a retired dominatrix, and she has this amazing custom-made cage that slides under her bed, and she puts her husband in it, you know. And I mean, they have 2 kids, they have like little, you know, but she slides them under the bed sometimes, you know, and so it's like a pull-out cage. And, you know, I thought that I'd seen everything. And I realized, you know, it was so great. That was fun. Of course, shooting with Michael C. Hall, you know, Michael C. Hall plays the director. I'm looking for a reading of the script of the Adderall Diaries, and I find this other reading, and there's Michael C. Hall wearing a director's shirt, you know, and he's like, oh, you're in the wrong movie. And I'm like, well, they're making a movie out of my life. And he says, well, your life or your book about your life? And this was also my first time acting. And the very first scene that we shot was me opposite Michael C. Hall. And so that was extremely intense and amazing, obviously, and terrifying.
You talked about the reading of the book. There's another quick story I want to talk about, too, about James Franco. You at one point were concerned that he had not read the book before he was going to act as you.
It was kind of a joke. I mean, I thought the movie The Adderall Diaries is so different from the book The Adderall Diaries that it made me think he had not actually read the book. You know, and then when I talked to him about it, he said the reason he optioned the book was because he saw a lecture I did for a class. He saw a video of a lecture I did for a class that he was taking. And so I thought, well, that's not like the same as reading the book. He just saw a video of a lecture. That's not. And so I mentioned in an interview that I did with Variety, it was really just joking that I thought he hadn't actually read the book. And he read the interview in Variety and sent me a note saying, you know, I did read the book, you know. And I'm sorry, I will never say that you didn't read the book again. I was just making a joke. And then we added a credit at the end of the movie that says the filmmakers would like to acknowledge that James Franco did in fact read the book. So.
I love your sense of humor. It is a terrific looking film. I'm very excited to see it. Again, it is After Adderall, based on your experience making the film with James Franco. It looks so exciting. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
When will we see it? I should ask you that really quickly.
It's a closing movie for Slam Dance.
Yeah,
so it's a closing night feature. It's the last one. It's the 26th, I think, at 5:30.
All right.
January 26th.
Don't miss it. It may be your only chance to see After Adderall. We'll be back with more here on the Mountain Morning Show right after this.